Hi everyone, welcome to Flex Physiotherapy. My name's Ian. My colleague Tom is once again volunteering to be the patient for us here. And we're talking about a taping technique that we've found really useful for some patients with pain coming down into the radial side, the thumb side of the wrist and thumb around this region here. It's a common cause of that might be an irritated or sensitized radial nerve, but they can be useful techniques for other causes of pain around this region. So the kind of situation we might have here is where the patient reports pain when their thumb is bending down, where they're reaching and grasping, so that rolling over, stretching maneuver. And so we're going to use the tape to lift and support the thumb and to provide a bit of restriction and support as you move into the aggravating position. Sometimes use this taping technique in conjunction with the elbow taping or the scapular taping technique that we've got other videos demonstrating. So I've got my nice sharp scissors, I've got some K-tape, any kind of K-tape would be good, and I need a couple of pieces that are not super long, and what I'm actually going to do is to taper them a little bit towards the end, because we're starting this end on the thumb, and so you don't want the full width of the tape there. So I've just tapered it down like so, and then the opposite end I'm going to just round off the corners so that they don't come off the skin too quickly and easily. So there are my tapes. I've estimated the length here, roughly half the length from MCP joints to forearm would be appropriate, but you can always do a bit of trial and error with that. So if we think of the aggravating position as being palm down, wrist forward, thumb across, then we want Tom to be in the opposite position. So, so a little bit of twist into that supinated palm up position, thumb up and back a little bit, and maybe even the wrist cocked back a little bit. So about there would be great. Starting at the tapered narrow end, I'm going to rip the paper off that end, expose the sticky, and I'm going to start just on the very back of Tom's thumb, sort of in line with the nail. The knuckle there, the IP joint, I'm going to start just below that because I want to try not to restrict that joint at all if possible. I'm going to peel the paper off all except the last couple of centimetres. Make sure that the first couple of centimetres is applied with no particular stretch on it, so we don't irritate the skin. And then I want to apply some moderate tension to the tape, about 75%, 50 to 75% of your maximum tension. And I'm going to spiral this around the forearm and lay the last couple of centimetres on with no tension. So now it's going to tend to keep Tom's thumb in that upright position. He's still able to bend, but as he does so, he just gets that support and that reminder, oh, let's back off now before we get to the pain and irritation zone. I'll do a second one. So I'm actually going to start this one a little bit more towards the palm side, like so. And so I'll just turn your arm this way so you can see on the camera. This is going to come a little bit more, almost towards the thenar eminence, these muscles on the front of the thumb. Okay, yeah, keeping your thumb back that way, great. And spiraling around again towards the back of the forearm, keeping the tension on until we get to that last 2 or 3 centimetres. Now, wrists can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes you find the tape wants to lift up around these parts here, and sometimes it can be really helpful just to use a light anchor tape around the wrist to stop the working tapes from lifting off. But just keep in mind, anytime you're applying any sort of anchoring, you want to have minimal to no tension on the tape because it's circumferential, and the last thing you want is a tourniquet around the wrist. So we just lay this on very gently without stretching the tape as we go, and that keeps it secure. It can also be helpful because the most likely place this tape is going to start peeling off is around the thumb, where it's going to be getting wet and getting used and getting moved the most. And so a little thin strip like this makes a good anchor to go around the thumb. But once again, should be applied very carefully with no stretch. And there is Tom, all wrapped up and ready to go. Thank you. Thanks for watching another Flex.Physio video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, click on the button below, and you'll get all of our latest updates as they come out. Or you can go to Flex.Physio to check out our website for more information. See you later.